경고했어. 더 이상 다가오면.
Squid Game is the latest Netflix Korean drama to send the entire world into a frenzy. And when I say the entire world, I mean quite literally. Everyone in all parts of the world, from America to England to other parts of Europe, Asia, and even Africa, is raving about this new hit show. In fact, analysts say that Squid Game is likely to break the record set by Bridgerton as the most-watched Netflix drama ever. And it's only been a couple of weeks since it dropped. If that's not impressive, then I really don't know what is. Now, there are some behind-the-scene actions that I'm pretty sure that you don't know anything about. I'm not talking about the bloopers or the drama between the cast members. I'm talking about the strict rules that the cast must follow at all times. These rules aren't up for negotiation, and the cast must follow them no matter what. Without further ado, let's talk about these rules. This is one of the most important rules that the cast must always follow. They must stay fit at all times no matter what. No matter how busy their schedules are or how occupied their lives are, they must always find time to hit the gym, go for a jog, and just keep it fit in all ways. Apart from the factors that the actors need to stay slim and in shape, this rule also serves another purpose. If you've seen Squid Games, then you already know that there's a lot of running and physical activity that is involved. Now, when you factor in the fact that a single scene takes multiple takes and retakes that often go on for as long as a day, then you will realize that a lot of running and physical activity goes into shooting the scenes. While shooting movies and shows without many physical activities is often exerting, this is much more so physically exerting and challenging. This is why the cast must remain fit at all times. The last thing the director wants is to have to keep pausing between takes just so an actor who's out of shape can catch his or her breath. Nope, that won't fly. The cast always has to stay in shape no matter what.
선생님 번거로우실까봐 제가 한꺼번에 모아서 드리려고 했거든요.
This is another important rule that was set out for the cast members. They must keep their lips zipped at all times no matter what happens. They aren't allowed to talk to members of the press about the movie. In fact, sometimes the actors are completely banned from talking to the press. If you know anything about journalists and reporters, then you'll know that they are often sneaky and can easily get the cast to reveal what they don't plan on talking about. Now, I'm not trying to shade journalists and reporters because I know they're just trying to do their jobs, but what I'm saying is that their jobs often make things difficult for actors and other people in show business. While filming, the cast had to keep their lips zipped. And when I say zipped, I mean zipped. They were not allowed to divulge anything about the show or the character that they're playing. This is because even the smallest piece of information that appears to be meaningless can be interpreted to mean something else. And well, things could go downhill from there. The cast wasn't even allowed to share details with their family and friends, and odds are that even the people close to the cast found out about the plot the same way we all did, by watching the show. So if you're someone like me who hates spoilers, then you probably have this rule to thank. This rule makes so much sense that it would have been stupid not to have it as a rule. If you are like the more than 10 million people who have binge-watched Squid Game, then you definitely know that the show is nothing but violent. I mean, the directors and producers woke up and chose violence. I'm not complaining though, because the show is nothing if not a masterpiece. If you haven't seen it, well, I'm recommending it to you. I promise that it's totally going to be worth your time. Now, talking about this rule, it's important that the cast members not flinch when they're faced with violence, because that will translate to a lot of flinching on camera, which won't turn out as good on camera. However, this doesn't mean that they aren't allowed to flinch at all times. In fact, they're expected to flinch at the right times, like when they're shooting a particularly grim and gory scene. So the rule, don't flinch unless you're supposed to flinch. Then you flinch. Bottom line, you can flinch, but only when you're supposed to. Do I even need to say a lot about this rule? This is one of the most common and most important rules in the world of acting. As an actor, you are supposed to give your work your best shot at all times. It is simply unacceptable to give subpar work. This goes for the cast of the Squid Game as well. They have to bring their A game every single time. It doesn't matter what is going on in their personal lives. Once they step on set, they have to put everything out of mind and focus on their work. They must give a stellar performance at all times, because great performances from actors are what movies really are made of. And for watching Squid Games, I think it's safe for me to say that the actors followed this particular rule to the T, because they gave awesome performances that are worthy of an Oscar.
CCTV에는 보이지 않습니다.
Also, the cast was banned from giving interviews unless it was first cleared with the production company, like 0 interviews. This is because it's very easy for them to be entrapped into making a statement by the anchor. The thing with production companies is that they like to spin and control how information relating to the movie or show is leaked. So the last thing that they want is for the cast member to go in an interview and spill the beans. A single poorly timed information from a cast member is enough to ruin the movie for both the viewers and them. So the producers would rather not risk having this happen. Not that I blame them. Movies are expensive to make, and when spoilers are given prematurely, they could ruin the movie. So the cast members are simply banned totally from giving interviews. And when they had to give interviews, they had to clear first with the producers and agree about what the topics they would be talking about and what they could or could not say. Sounds like a lot, but it is really an important rule.
이길 것 같습니다. 그래, 이겨서 같이 나가자.
If you think that the actors looked a little bit too realistic while playing the game, it is because they are actually being realistic. One of the rules they had to follow was that they had to learn how to play the games in real life. So when you saw them on screen, they actually knew what they were doing. I think this is an important rule because it gave everything a nice touch of reality. While I'm pretty sure that the actors could have pulled off the acting even without knowing how to play the games, I think it is still a great idea that they had to learn how to play the game. This makes it even more impressive that they managed to screw up on purpose. As you know if you've seen the movies, one mistake and you're out. And when I say out, I mean quite literally. I'm talking shot in the head kinda out. So while the part where they were playing the game wasn't acting, the parts where they messed up and got shot was acting. I think it's really commendable that they managed to pull both things off without a hitch. The cast members are really good, and they deserve all the praise that they have been getting and even more. And that's it for the strict rules for the cast of the Squid Game to follow. I don't think that there's any super crazy rules that made no sense because all the rules I talked about just helped make sure that the show turned out as good as it did.
넌 괜찮겠어? 내 팀이라는 저 쓰레기 같은 인간들을.
Which one of these rules do you agree with the most? Are there any you think is unnecessary? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss future uploads. See you later.
They always take the middle numbers first.
Animal instinct.